All right, the White House rounded up its troops this weekend, and they went into battle. No, not against our foreign enemies, against the Fox News channel. And that is our headline this Monday night, press control. Now, you'd think with everything facing the country right now, what, 2 wars, a flagging economy, an Iranian regime seeking nuclear weapons, that the White House would have better things to do than bully this news organization. But you'd be wrong. Take a look.
It's not a news organization so much as it has a perspective.
All right, meanwhile, David Axelrod was over at ABC defending White House Communications Director Anita Dunn, who spent her week attacking the Fox News channel.
The only argument Anita was making is that they're not really a news station. If you watch even, it's not just their commentators, but a lot of their news programming, it's really not news. It's pushing a point of view. And the bigger thing is that other news organizations like yours ought not to treat them that way, and we're not going to treat them that way.
All right, this administration is trying to fool you into believing that the news the White House doesn't really like, well, isn't news. Well, now that is cynical, that is manipulative, and that is an abuse of power. It is evidence that this White House is scared. Now, from early on, we right here on this program, we were way ahead of the curve on issues like Jeremiah Wright, Bill Ayers, among other things. This network brought you the Acorn story. This network brought you the controversy surrounding the czars in the administration. Now, those are stories the mainstream media, you know, the alleged real news organizations, well, they ignored those stories completely. And those stories caused big problems for the White House. And for that, they're now targeting this network that you like to watch. But there's a wider story to all of this, and that is that the Obama team, they're accustomed to having full control over journalists and these organizations. Now, White House Communications Director Anita Dunn said just that when she explained why the Obama campaign distributed propaganda videos to reporters instead of, well, talking to them. Take a look at this one.
It was a way for us to get our message out without having to actually talk to reporters. We just put that out there and make them write what Plouffe had said, as opposed to Plouffe doing an interview with a reporter.
All right, now that explains a few things, doesn't it? Obama and his team, they don't like coming face to face with the press. They don't believe in a free press whose job it is to challenge those in power. But you know what? They want a media they can control, a media they can manipulate. Here's more Dunn.
So it was very much we controlled it as opposed to the press controlled it. And it did not always make us popular with the press. But we increasingly, by the general election, very rarely did we communicate through the press anything that we didn't absolutely control.
All right, now this is simple. The White House's war against Fox stems from the fact it doesn't control this network. But why should the Democrats need such tight control? Why do they want to control the media? What are they afraid of? Joining me now with answers to all of these questions is the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Catastrophe, Dick Morris. Also, by the way, the pollster for Bill Clinton.
Right.
Why? I mean,
well, obviously, because they don't control you. But the point is, they are coming after Fox News, not because it's a Republican organization, but because it reaches Democrats and independents too. If your entire audience was Republican, they wouldn't bother with you, because those are votes they've lost anyway. Right. But I did a survey last week, and coincidentally,
this is what you used to do. You did Bill Clinton's poll.
I did all of his polling,
by the way,
for 20 years.
Which I will never forgive you for, but go ahead.
But my polls were pretty darn accurate. And I did a poll this last week, and I asked about Fox News. And I found that half of the Fox News audience are Democrats or independents. And that's why the White House is coming after you, because you're reaching their political base.
You know, we have talked about, starting with Bill Ayers and Wright and Flager, and then we got Van Jones and Kevin Jennings and Sunstein.
But more than that,
and Holdren.
You tell the truth about health care.
Well, that's
you tell
true.
the truth about the stimulus package, the economy. I mean, those are all issues you mentioned are all important, but they're not going to be live or die issues. The important stuff here is that it's only here that you get the truth about what health care is going to cost you.
As far as I know, there's not a single anchor on the network that gets a tingly feeling up their leg when the president speaks. I don't know of one. Not that I know.